Tale of the Fox and Lion. In a vast, dense forest where the trees stood tall and the underbrush grew thick, lived a wise and cunning fox named Felix. Felix was known throughout the forest for his sharp wit and quick thinking. No creature could outsmart him, not even the slyest of the weasels or the most cunning of the raccoons. Felix prided himself on his intelligence, believing that his cleverness was unmatched. He would often boast to the other animals about how he could outwit anyone and anything. His reputation as a trickster spread far and wide, and though some admired him, many were wary of his sly nature. Despite his intelligence, Felix was not particularly strong or large, so he relied solely on his brain to navigate the dangers of the forest. His favorite pastime was to trick other animals, playing pranks that left them bewildered and confused, while Felix would hide in the shadows, chuckling to himself. But, as with all tales of overconfidence, Felix's pride would soon lead him to an encounter that would test his wits in ways he had never imagined. One day, Felix heard of a fearsome lion named Leo who had recently entered the forest. Leo was powerful, majestic, and commanded respect wherever he went. The animals of the forest trembled at the mere mention of his name, for Leo was not just any lion, he was the king of another distant jungle. His roar could be heard from miles away, and his presence alone could send the bravest of creatures scurrying for cover. But Felix was not intimidated by tales of strength and ferocity. He believed that no matter how strong or fearsome Leo might be, he could surely outwit him. Felix decided that he would pay Leo a visit, intending to prove to the other animals that brains would always triumph over brawn. So, he set off towards the part of the forest where Leo was said to reside. As he walked, Felix began to devise a plan. He would use his cleverness to trick Leo into making a fool of himself, and then he would spread the story far and wide, securing his place as the smartest animal in the forest. When Felix finally reached Leo's lair, he found the lion lounging majestically in the shade of a large tree. Leo's golden mane glistened in the sunlight, and his piercing eyes stared deep into the forest, as if he could see every secret that it held. Felix approached cautiously, pretending to be humble and respectful. "Greetings, O mighty Leo," Felix began, bowing low. "I have heard of your strength and your power, and I wish to serve you as your humble advisor." Leo, who had seen many cunning creatures in his time, eyed Felix suspiciously. He was aware of the fox's reputation, but he was also curious to see what Felix had to offer. "Very well," Leo said, his voice deep and commanding. "But know this, Felix, I am not easily fooled. If you are truly as wise as you claim, then you will have no trouble advising me on matters of the forest." Felix smiled inwardly, thinking that he had already won half the battle. He began to offer Leo advice on how to hunt more efficiently, where to find the best water sources, and how to maintain his dominance over the other animals. Leo listened carefully, testing Felix's advice, and found that much of it was sound. However, Leo was not entirely convinced of Felix's sincerity. He decided to set a test for the fox, one that would reveal whether Felix was truly as wise as he seemed. One morning, Leo told Felix that he had a special task for him. "Felix," Leo said, "I have heard of a hidden treasure deep within the heart of this forest. It is said to be guarded by the most dangerous and cunning of creatures. I want you to find this treasure and bring it to me. If you succeed, I will make you my chief advisor, and you will have riches beyond your wildest dreams. But if you fail, you will have to leave this forest forever." Felix, confident in his abilities, agreed without hesitation. He set off into the forest, thinking of all the tricks and traps he would set to overcome any obstacles in his path. As he ventured deeper into the forest, however, Felix began to realize that this task was not as simple as he had imagined. The forest grew darker and more treacherous, and soon Felix found himself lost.